Hello everyone, this is Margarita with CityGal Papeterie. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be continuing with my Halloween series, and in this video I'm going to be making some Memorydex cards. I have this adorable little box and these dies. So I made this box using a tutorial by Meg at Little Hot Tamale. I will include the link below for her channel. She's awesome, and I really enjoyed her tutorial, so I made one for myself. I did alter it a little bit, and then I used these dies. They are Heidi Swap Memorydex card dies, and I've already pre-cut all of my papers that I'm going to be using, and I've also added some stitching so that we are all ready to go. These are the papers that I'm using. This one is a little Frankenstein paper. I had a small piece of that white skull paper, and so I needed to add a little bit more paper. And then I have these really cool acetate sheets that look like x-rays that I totally forgot about. These are by Recollections. They're x-ray paper pad, and I'm going to use that as well. I have these photo frames. I'm not sure what you call these, but I inherited these. There was a whole stack of them, so I'm gonna use that. Here's another Frankenstein type paper and another one, and then finally this little pearl cardstock that I added some shading to. And so here's another look at the little box, and she used wooden dowels for her example. I didn't have wooden dowels, so I used paper straws, and I loved how it turned out. I'm probably gonna follow her tutorial to make more of those for sure. And then these are the supplies I'm gonna use. These are some brads. I have some Halloween themed ones in there, some pumpkins and bats. I'm gonna use this Tim Holtz film strip, some double-sided tape. Is this called double-sided tape? Just tape runner, right? A tape runner, a blending tool, and some VersaFine black onyx ink. I have a black Sharpie in case I need to add lines or you know, marks to anything. I have my glue gun over there. It doesn't reach the middle, but it's ready to go. And then I have several punches in different shapes. I don't even think I use any of these, but they're there. I do use the spider one. That's a Martha Stewart one. I've had that for ages. I have my paper trimmer, and then all of my like Halloween themed items, and a little extra, some trim and some sequins and stuff. So I'm gonna try to get through this entire packet of Fancy Pants Halloween die cuts, and I'm going through and adding them to my Memorydex cards to create little setups or little designs on each. This packet is really adorable, and I purchased it from Peachy Cheap. I will probably be checking in on their site again because I might buy this kit again if they have it. And I think it's called A Little Scary is the name of the design of this set. And I am creating 10 Memorydex cards altogether in this video. You will see the process for most of them. I think there's 2 or 3 that I create off camera, but you will see the process for most of them. And I'm starting this process kind of like I start the process for when I make embellishments, where I kind of have everything laid out and I'm just comparing all of the elements that I want to use, and I go back and forth and see what I like, what looks good, what coordinates, and in this way I feel like they are all different, but they all still look like they're part of a set because they're all being created at the same time. Now you see I pretty much used every single piece, every single die cut that is in that pack. I'm putting all the leaves up there with that little house. And I think the only thing I don't use is this ace card because I just couldn't figure out how to coordinate it with anything. I mean, it's fine in the end. I'll figure out something else to use it with, but I'm so happy I got to use that entire set. I'm gonna start with my first card here. And so this is the design that I want to go with. And I have this doily. I'm gonna sew this in place. And I just gave it a zigzag pattern. Most of that's going to be covered up with the elements on top, so I'm not too concerned about what the stitching looks like. I grab a piece of this film strip, and I'm also trying my absolute hardest to use at least some of everything that I've put on my table. I add some hot glue and put that right onto my little card. And now all of the elements are going to go on with some type of dimension. That means I'm either going to use some foam or foam tape or those little pop-up dots or whatever they're called, and little foam squares. And then I'm adhering everything down with my glue gun. I think I use my glue gun for pretty much everything here. So the calendar, the October calendar, is on foam, and now I'm going to add some little foam squares to this little wording piece that says spooky. And I fuss a lot with it, so I just skip right on ahead. Now I'm adding 2 foam pieces to the pumpkin so that it's higher than the other pieces on the card. So cute. And then I put that down with some glue, the glue gun. And I'm pulling out my enamel accents. Maybe I will remember the name of this throughout this video, because last time I couldn't remember what it was called, even though I had already showed it and said it. I joke that it's only when I'm recording my voiceover that I forget the words for everything. I forget how to talk. I don't know if any of you guys out there have a YouTube channel or make videos like this, but it's always when you're like in the most important part of making your video that you forget the most important parts of your video. It's quite the nuisance. Anyway, I'm adding some enamel dots, and that completes that card. On to the next one. I have a little poking tool here. I think this is a Tim Holtz one. And I'm going to put some brads in this little house. I use one for the doorknob. And then I add a little bat. And then I'm going to add a small pumpkin. In hindsight, I feel like I should have used more pumpkins. I should have put maybe like several of them at the bottom of the house, but I only used one, and that's okay. You're fighting with the pumpkin. Pumpkin little legs won't stay together. So close your legs, pumpkin. Gotta get you in the house. All right, and now I'm going to add that to my card. I'm putting it onto this rosette, so it adds a little cuteness to it as well as dimension. I'm also going to add this little banner. This little banner is actually from it's from a printable set, not from the fancy pants set. And I add 2 holes here to enter the brads, or to put the brads in. Now the brad's legs are way too long for this tiny little piece, so I have to put it through the card as well. Now I do only decorate the front side of these cards. Some people also do the back. You could also do the back. but I only will do the front. Now I'm going to add some shading to this little house. Give it a little spooky look. And once that's all ready, I'm going to glue that down. Next, I'm going to add these little leaves, which give it a perfect little autumn touch. And I also have the puffy sticker set for the same theme. And I'm trying to figure out if I can add something from here also, because I feel like it's missing a little something. And I'm looking into this Ouija board, but it doesn't quite fit. I'm trying. It doesn't fit though. And then I settle with the little witch. So cute. I know I say that a lot, but it is so cute. Now on to the next card. This is my little Frankenstein-y card. I'm adding the banner to the top. I do add this doily to the back. Since I'm not going to show the whole doily, I'm going to just cut some of it off. I can always use the other half to peek out of something else. And I think my camera was blurry during the entire making of this one card, so this is the result. I had to skip ahead. And then I'm going to add this piece of velvet, like 2-inch ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm adding ruffles to it. It does have a wire on the sides, so it makes this really easy. And if you're thinking that I'm going to sew it, you're right. I am going to sew it. I sew it in 2 spots. And now I'm going to glue it behind my card. And then the other piece I'm going to use for a different card. And that completes that card. At the top it says, October is my favorite. And for the next card, I'm gonna add a piece of this black cheesecloth ribbon. I kind of scrunch it up a little bit, and then I'm just gonna stick it down with some of my hot glue. And then I had a little die cut of that Ouija board, so I add that on top of the cheesecloth. And now I want my spider to have dimension, so I'm gonna add a little foam square to the body. And then I use a strip of this black foam for the web. I cut off the extra that's at the top, and then I'm gonna adhere that onto my card. Now I have this little pumpkin, and it's way too low there, so I'm gonna add it onto several pieces of foam. I think I give it like a double thickness so that it can go over all the other elements. And there is that card. Oh, no, I add some enamel dots as well. I'm sticking them down with some glue, some hot glue also, because enamel dots are, well, for me anyway, they are notorious for falling off projects. All right. Oh, one more thing. I add some more enamel accents. Some to the pumpkin's eyes and some to the little Ouija board. And now this card is complete. Now for the next one, I'm using that photo frame. I add some of that cheesecloth inside of it. I'm trimming some of the excess, not too much because I do want it to stay sticking out of the sides. And then I use this spider punch and this orange paper to punch out some spiders. I punch out 3 spiders. If you hear banging around me, it is just my old house. Oh, and people driving by my window. My house is like over 100 years old, so she's very loud when she's warming up. The pipes are extremely obnoxious, but it is what it is. I'd rather be warm. Now I'm adding black to the legs with my Sharpie to make it look like a more realistic spider. And then with this small micron marker, I'm going to add details to the spider's body. See that? Isn't that cool? I really like how that turned out. And then I also bend their legs a little bit so it looks like, you know, their legs have joints like in real life. This spider I adhered from the back so you can see it through the web. And so here I am bending the legs a little bit so it's got the joints. And then I'm going to stick that on with a foam square. And now I'm going to add a few more details. So I've got these, one of those little cards. It says monster. I do not add that little rosette or the doily. Here I add Halloween to the top. It is on foam squares, so it's propped up. I add a candy corn. And a little poison bottle. And that completes that card. On to the next one. I actually die cut another one of those acetate sheets with the hand on it. So I have 2 of them. I've sewed them all the way around except for the small corner there. And I'm going to make this a shaker. I'm grabbing some sequins. Yes, that is my son giggling behind me. I struggle a lot with this because it's so flat together, both pieces. So I grabbed this little, I think this is a chopstick, but I put that there in the hole to give me some room give me some room to pour in the, here I am forgetting English again. I put the stick there to give me some space to put the sequins in. And then I sealed it shut. And now I'm going to decorate the outside. I've got the banner. I'm unsure of whether or not I'm going to add that wording, or the pumpkin, or the doily. I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do there. And in the end, I add this little skeleton from a printout set. He's not from Fancy Pants. Maybe because he has no pants. And then I prop him up on foam squares also. And then I do add the wording. if you've got it haunted. I was strategic in covering the skeleton's bits, you know. I don't add the ghost even though he's cute. And I add this eek. How would you say that? Eek. And that completes that card. I love this one. So cool. And that's it. I didn't get the process for all of them, but these are the ones that I made. I did 10 in all. This was the first one. And the next, the little brads and the leaves. My little kitty cat. He's having a party. Some balloons, the pumpkin. And then this one was not on video, but here's a little ghost, too cute to spook, with his little bat friend. I also didn't get this one on film. A Beautiful Night. The one with the Ouija board. Anybody out there use a Ouija board? I think I tried using that once. It freaked me out. I threw it away. Here's another one that wasn't filmed. The Little Witch. It says pumpkin everything. And the photo frame. I love that. It came out pretty cool. Here, this one was also not filmed, but I added some cheesecloth to the back of this one too, and the little poison bottles, and some stitching, zigzag stitching in the background. And then my shaker one. I really enjoyed these. I think this was the first time I made these little Memorydex cards, and I love how they turned out. I'm definitely going to make another one of these, maybe for Christmas or Valentine's, I don't know, but I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Please hit like and subscribe to see more videos like this. Bye.